Alright, picture this. You are seeing 100,000 troops with 247 warships and nuclear bombers showing their might in a war game. Russia is conducting the Zapad 2025, the annual war games which they host every time. This is the first time they are hosting it since the Ukraine war. But all this did not make heads turn. But a small group of 65 sailors from India are making everybody's head turn where they are battling out in these war games in the snowy area of Belarus. Everybody's question is, what is India doing there? From Washington to Beijing, this is the question. And what is the signal India is trying to send with this? Let's break it down in today's video. See, the Zapad 2025 is the annual Russian-Belarusian war games. This happened this year between 12th to 16th September. This war game is usually conducted in practice for any invasion which happens on Russian or Belarusian soil. But this year there was a unique participant. India participated in this. What did India do? It sent a small regiment of 65 Indian soldiers who participated in the land regiment of this exercise. The West was watching it from the stands. Also, Western satellites were seeing what is happening here. See, the exercise is over now, but the repercussions and the reactions have just started to reverberate throughout the world. The first thing Russia is telling is we can mobilize troops faster than NATO also. So if anybody attacks us, we will mobilize as fast as possible, and it is trying to show its military might in the land as well as sea. Also, it is clearly telling that Minsk, which is the capital of Belarus, is not just a friendly neighbor but just an extension of Russia. That is, if any attack happens on Russia, it will take the help of Belarus also. Mind you that Belarus has some nuclear capabilities also. A minor but significant contributor in Russia's show of strength to the world. The third thing is, by inviting foreign people, like by inviting India in the Russian-Belarus war game, Russia is telling that, look, we have powerful friends. So if anybody tries to attack us, there are powerful countries who are with us who will help us tackle the invaders. So what message is India trying to send to the world by participating in this war games of Zapad 2025? See, it was a small regiment of 65 Indian soldiers only. Now see, this is not a big thing when you see that the entire war games was about 100,000 soldiers, but this was a small regiment of only 65 people. But the most important thing India is trying to send the message to the world is we and Russia are friends, and by participating in these war games, we are just deepening these ties. See, India has been still importing oil from Russia, even though the West has given so much pressure on India to stop importing oil. But still, India have told that we need this oil from Russia, and Russia is our friend, and we will still import it. By participating in these war games, India has further underlined the fact that we and Russia are friends. Also, you have to remember that in India, the weapons have 60% of Russian DNA in them. Most of the helicopter, submarine, all have some Russian spare part or the other. So if you need any weapons upgrade or any spare parts you need Russia's help. Now participating in these war games strengthens these ties and helps us to upgrade our weapons grade systems. Now the second thing is, India is heading towards a path of strategic autonomy. That is, it gets to decide who its friends are, who its enemies are. Nobody can force India to decide who will be its friends or enemies, and India wants that strategic autonomy. By participating in this war games, it has clearly sent a message to the West that we will decide who our friends and enemies are. Nobody can tell us who are going to be our friends. This is a very good thing which is happening, because heading towards strategic autonomy is very good for a nation like India. The third thing is, India is also sending a message to Russia in this. See, it is always bad if Russia and China get close, because for us, we have some political tensions with China. Now, always for India, the good thing is if Russia is a strong independent nation. By participating in this war games, India has sent a message to Russia also, telling them that in this continent of Asia, we are also there, and we are also your strategic partner, and that you should not forget that we are having a good relationship with you. So India is trying to send a message to Russia also in this, to the West also in this, telling that we are heading towards strategic autonomy and that we have powerful friends. Now let's see what NATO has learned from this Zapad 2025 war games. The first thing is the speed at which the Russian troops were mobilized. They mobilized around 1 lakh soldiers within 72 hours. See, this is a very quick mobilization of Russian troops, because compared to 2017, when the last time these games were held, they took 14 days to mobilize. See, you can have all the military might in the world, but if you can't mobilize your troops at the right time, the enemy will gain the upper hand. So NATO has to watch out for this, because right now Russia can mobilize troops faster than that of NATO. Another thing which NATO has to watch out for is, now Belarus is Russia's friend, or literally an extension of Russia. Now they are seeing nuclear warheads in Belarus also. So from Belarus, that is the Minsk, which is the capital of Belarus, any NATO capital which is situated nearby is just 4 minutes away by air if they are trying to attack it. This one point NATO has to notice, and they have to take the necessary precautions if something untoward has to happen. When we read between the lines of this, India and Russia and Belarus participation in this Zapad 2025, we can see something clear coming up. There is a friendship which is developing between India and Belarus also. But what does this mean? See, India is already trying to counteract this Belt and Road initiative by China, where they aim to establish trade routes between Asia as well as Europe. India wants to counteract this. They want a separate trade route. India can think of a trade route by constructing a railroad from Mumbai to Helsinki through this Minsk region, and this war games would have been the perfect cover to actually see a dry run to see if this railroad is possible or not. See, I'm not throwing any speculations, I'm just suggesting that this could be also a reason that India could have participated in this war games, to see if there is a possible alternative trade route such that we can improve our exports and imports to Europe, and that will boost our nation's economy. So we might not be surprised if an announcement comes for a rail route between Mumbai to Helsinki through this Minsk region, if it comes in the next 18 months, because this Zapad 2025 would have been the perfect cover for seeing whether this is possible, such that we can counteract China's Belt and Road initiative. This war games was not just about showing the military might or power. It is a signal which Russia is sending to the West, telling that it has friendship with India and that it can mobilize troops fast. India is sending to the world that it is friendship with Russia. It is also telling Russia that I am your true friend. You maintain friendship with me more than what friendship you maintain with China. Also, you can see that India is maintaining a friendship with Belarus also, seeing alternative trade routes. So when we read between the lines for these war games, we can see that this is much more than just showing a country's military might. I hope this breakdown of Zapad 2025 was useful for you, and if you find this useful, please share it with your friends and drop down your opinions in the comments below. Do like, share and subscribe me for more interesting videos.